Hi, everyone, and welcome into this latest edition of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter from Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aiden Champion. And we've been talking a lot of football lately, so I'd like to take a little break from that and get into some Spartan hoops. Haven't talked about it since Divine Ugochukwu committed to Michigan State, a big time commitment for the Spartans in terms of an area of the roster that they needed to fill. But there's a lot of potential lineups you can go with this roster you've got now. And so I want to kind of look over them and get into what I think is going to be the lineup you roll with to start the year. Obviously, the lineup Michigan State or Tom Izzo did start with last year was not the one he ended up with at the end of the season, and it changed throughout as well. And that's nothing new for this program. Izzo, of course, has done that a lot throughout the years, and um, you know, I most definitely think that that will be the case again when we get to the fall. But right off the bat, initially, what I'm looking at is you've got your guarantees. Okay, Jeremy Fears going to be your starting point guard. Earn that spot. He's not losing it. I mean, that's probably I think the most secure spot on the roster or lineup wise is starting point guard Jeremy Fears, and then I think it's pretty Trey Fort at shooting guard. Your starting shooting guard. I think that's pretty set. Although you never know with Kurtang right there behind him, he could have a great offseason. Still a young guy, and doesn't have much experience, obviously. But who knows? Maybe he has a great offseason. We already know he's a great shooter. He was one of the best shooters on the team last year. Just didn't get much action. But I don't know. I think that he very well could get the start. I mean, I think that's one of the big things we're looking at with this roster is any one of these guys really can start. It's much like last year's roster. I think you're going to be pretty deep again, which is great because obviously that was this team's biggest strength last year was its depth, strength in numbers. Was able to roll with 10 guys and just wear opponents down. But Jeremy Fears, Trey Fort, and then the wing. This is where it gets a little tricky when you get to the front court. Um, I would anticipate. I know Cohen Carr is going to start. I'd be shocked if he didn't. It's just a matter of whether he starts at the four or the three. If he starts at the three and you play Jackson at the four, another pretty likely starter, I think. And then Cooper at the five, that'd be your more traditional lineup. You can roll with that, which is what I'm probably anticipating that they do. Cooper, it's time for him to be your starting center. He's earned it. Played great down the stretch last year. So Coop starts at the five. Kohler's going to be your starting power forward. Obviously, he was great last year, took a major step forward. Is going to be one of your top guys, has the potential to be one of the best post players in the Big Ten, I think. And then Colin Carr, if he gets if he gets his shooting down, boy, he can be dangerous. He already is, but if he develops a jumper, we saw signs of that development last year. But if he can do it consistently, be relied on, man, he's you're looking at, you know, first team all Big Ten type player. But um, but I do think absolutely Cohen Carr should and will start. And that's the lineup I anticipate. You can also, of course, um, you could play Caleb Glenn, your Wayne from Florida Atlantic, who, I think is he's pretty darn good, and I think it'd be kind of a waste if he came off the bench, but it's just tough because you got guys in front of him that have earned their spots and are really the core of this team. But you could roll with Caleb Glenn at the wing, move Carr to the four, and play Kohler at the five. That's a smaller lineup, and I like that one too. I think you get more shooting with that lineup in terms of adding Glenn in, and Kohler obviously became a much better shooter last year. So you go that route, and you could also. I feel like you want to utilize Cam Ward a lot, obviously. Him him being as highly touted as he is, go with a lineup, not a starting lineup, but Cam Ward in there at the four, and then but he's a more athletic four, kind of a stretch four, and so you might need some size down there. Even then, I mean, yeah, you could still put Kohler at the five. Still got size with him or Cooper, and then Cohen at the three. Man, that'd be a fun lineup to watch. A lot of different directions you can go. My light just died here. I apologize. It's weird. Back on. Um, but yeah, exciting ways you can go with it. And then Jesse McCullough, um, he I think the staff likes him a lot, and I know it hurt Izzo to have to use the red shirt last year. He's a guy who could see some impactful minutes. So, a lot to look forward to with this roster. I think a lot remains to be seen, and I think it's going to be competitive, a competitive offseason for these guys, and in the months leading up to game time. But would love to know your guys' thoughts. Who do you think Izzo will roll with for his starting lineup? Different lineups you'd like to see out there, and yeah, let me know your thoughts on mine as well. Very much appreciate you all tuning in as always. Hope you all have been having a great holiday weekend, and I hope you have a great Memorial Day. Enjoy your day off for those of you who will be celebrating. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.